Long ago, I hear from my coach, Dr. Paul Jenkins. He was telling a story of when he attended this place that they were interviewing. One of these guys, I can't remember his name, but he's one of those guys that they send to from the news channel to report on natural disasters or stuff that happens, in the world. So one of the questions that was asked was, what is the worst thing that you ever experienced? To his response, he said, in my experience, the worst thing is to see unnecessary deaths. When he was talking about unnecessary deaths, I mean, if you think of it, you know that in a hurricane or earthquakes or, just events that happen, obviously there will be some deaths. But what did he meant by that, like unnecessary deaths? So he went on and explained that unnecessary deaths are when you are at the place after the fact of the disaster happened, the hurricane or whatever it was that it happened, and all the help that countries around the world have sent to aid these people is just standing, storage there because there is no way of distribution. So when I was at a different conference, I heard something very similar from a guy. His name is Carlos. I can't remember his last name, but he is from Puerto Rico. I don't know if you remember, not too long ago, there was an earthquake that devastated Mexico. In about, I don't know, around the same days, there was this hurricane that took over and destroyed the island in Puerto Rico. It was very strong. It was a terrible catastrophe there. So he was talking that he was in Puerto Rico and he saw, he went through the whole experience being there during the hurricane. Thankfully, nothing happened to his family. But in the fact, like after the storm, it was very hard for people to access any, I don't know, food or hygiene products and stuff like that. The worst thing is that things were available. They were there on the ships, on containers, but there was not a line of distribution. So by not having a way to deliver these goods, this hygiene, medicine, water, food to these people, there were more deaths than they should have been. It's crazy to talk about it in that way, but that's what happened. There is something going on today in the world. There is something very devastating going on in the world. Many people, in numbers, we see that the rate of suicidal is high up here. Why is that happening? Because there is no, or there are not any resources there. There are resources. But many times people feel lonely, people feel alone. They don't see options. They don't see solutions to problems in their lives. And the only solution they see to stop the suffering is to take their own lives. This is a topic that is very hard to take on because sometimes we don't know what to say about it. Sometimes we don't know what to think. I used to believe, okay, I used to believe that taking your own life was the worst thing you could do, that was one of those unforgivable sins. And kind of, I don't know, like kind of judging on the person, you know, not judging the circumstance, just it's not even knowing the circumstance, just knowing that person took his life, that person is damned. There is no forgiveness from God. Come on. We don't know what is forgivable and what is not. That is the truth. Every person has different circumstances, and we are not here to judge them. Even when we do, we're not in a place that that we can. Let me tell you, a lot of people feel the judgment from others, and that kills any drop of hope, any light that they would see turns them off right away. What can we do here? The same thing that happened in Puerto Rico and in other parts of the world. There are resources available. Can we save lives? Absolutely. There is so much we can do to prevent these things. Things are happening in our schools. Not too far from here, there is a school district that in 1 month, a little while ago, they had 17 of their students that took their lives. That's a high number. It's crazy to think or to see it that way. You might be thinking like, oh, that's over there. That doesn't happen here. That doesn't happen in my house. That happened to the neighbor. And we always point fingers that, oh, that's in the neighbor's house. And we never see that happening in our own homes. But how present are we in the life of our children? Do we even talk about this? Do we even see this as a possibility? So often we don't see this as a possibility because it's everyone else. Our life could be, I don't know, we feel that it's perfect. Well, our kids, they don't say anything. I'm sure they should be okay. They should be great. I work to give them what they need. They have a phone. They have internet. I provide them with food. They have their own room. What else can they ask for? You, are you present there in their lives? Do you even care what they like, what they don't like? How their day went in school? Not just asking the question, hey, how was your day? Good. And no, be more involved. What did you do? Who did you play with? Did you make a new friend? Who are your friends? Do I get to know your friends? Let's get a play date. Let's get, things like that. Yeah, maybe your kids are grown-ups now. Well, get involved with them. There is the story of this guy. He's an ecclesiastical leader. His name is Robert D. Hales. You can learn more about him. And this story he told, he said he was reading the newspaper and his grandkid came by him and he was talking to him, and he was answering some things hidden there, but not totally there because he was focused on reading the newspaper. So the kid, he felt that. So he came in between him and the newspaper and started looking into his eyes. And he said, Grandpa, are you there? Right? Trying to look through your eyes and see if there is anything inside. Or it's just your body there, but are you there? When you're sharing a meal with your kids on the table, is the TV on? Or are you there? Or you're really present there, having a conversation with them? Those kind of things, help, at least makes you aware what is going on in your house, what is going on with your kids, with your children. What about a coworker? Are there any signs? Can you look, Sometimes we can see them sad because something is going on in their lives, excuse me, and we don't dare to ask. Because sometimes things are going on and we don't know what to say. What if I ask the wrong question? What if I ask the question, have you ever considered taking your life? That's kind of shocking. But you know what? Sometimes that's the question they need to hear. And when they do that, they will be like, yeah, maybe, what have you tried? And go on in that same thing. Sometimes I feel like, I don't want to give them the wrong idea. I don't want to give them ideas of how to do it. No, you don't. But just by addressing it, they will feel that you understand them. And hopefully, they will trust you. And they will let you help. And you become one of those resources, or bringing the resources to them. And you become a real life hero by helping that one coworker, that one friend. And why not? Like at home, that could be the case as well. But we don't talk about it, right? We don't talk about it because it is too terrifying for everyone. It is hard. I understand that. It is hard. I have friends that, they have this kind of problems in their lives where my kid, my 16-year-old, my 17-year-old, I heard that case in the state of Utah that at 11 or 10, a 10 or 11-year-old, not too long ago, in the last month or two, she took her own life because she was bullied at school. There could be many things, You don't know much about me, do you? Let me go back a little bit and tell you about my life story. Not that interesting, right? But I'm going to tell you something that you get to know more. I'm going to be a little vulnerable here. When I was about 15 years old, I was in Mexico. I had a childhood in Mexico, like average on the poor people, not average on the medium. No, I was poor. I had to work and go to school. My parents did the best they could to raise me, the best they could. Yeah, they hit me, punishments here and there, and all those kind of things. But I was tired of that kind of life, and I wanted to leave home. Yes, I thought I could work, I could take care of myself, I could make my own decisions. I don't want anyone to tell me what to do, when to get up, when to be in bed, when to come home or not come home. I was just sick of it. I wanted to be away from my family, and I had the chance to come to New York, to move to New York City. So when I got to New York City, I started working, and I was happy because that's what I wanted. I wanted to find an employment and get my life going with no one telling me what to do or, any of those things. Very soon I started mingling with the wrong crowd. I started drinking and using drugs, and my path of addictions began there. Not even 16 years old. There were times, because the years, this was for years. And there was a time during those years that I was totally lost. There are things that I don't even remember. If you ask me, what did you do at this age or in this date? There are many things that I don't remember. Maybe because it wasn't any good, that my brain just decided, ignore it. I don't know. Anyways, but something I remember is looking at myself in the mirror and feeling terrible about myself. Because I would I would talk to myself and say, like, you see what you have become? Is this the freedom that you wanted from your family? You're worthless. You told yourself yesterday you were going to stop drinking or using or any of these addictions. And look at yourself today. You're even worse than you were yesterday. Those comments that I was telling myself could put more emotions even lower. I was getting deeper into these addictions. I would ask myself, trying to think of the future, if there was a future, if one day I was going to get married, what kind of woman would want someone like me? There was no hope. Probably the question should have been, what is the woman I want to marry? What do they like? What kind of person they like? And those kind of things will help me out. But I didn't think of that at that moment. Anything that I was thinking, my thoughts were putting my emotions and everything else down. I was tired of that kind of life. I was tired of that kind of life. Like I said, this happened for years. To the point that my body, at this point, not only my mental health, but my physical body, my physical health gave up on me. I was feeling pain. Like I was feeling like I was going to die. I wanted to stop living at that point. But I was too chicken. I was afraid. I didn't know what to do. But there was a little bit of light right there. Hope. That last drop, I decided to hold on to that. I remember kneeling down. At this point, I didn't believe if God existed, if there was a God, or if there was anything like that. And if there was not God, I wanted there to be a God. And I asked on my knees, God, if you're God, if you exist, I'm asking you, just give me just one chance. I want to do better. I want to live a better life. I want to change. And after that, believe me, I don't remember what else happened that night. But I remember I fall asleep. And when I woke up in the morning, I had a change of my mind, of my heart, and everything. It was a feeling where all those physical pain and all that mental pain that I was involved with were gone. I woke up, and for the first time, breathing felt so good. For the first time, I was glad I was alive. For the first time, I felt grateful for my life and for everything else. I was crying because I was feeling so good inside. I didn't know what to do. but I wanted to do much. I wanted to do a lot of things and to get out and tell everyone, hey, I feel great, I feel awesome. Don't get me wrong. That was just the beginning. I felt good. I felt that I had a breakthrough through the night. I don't know the process that my brain had to go through, but I'm glad it did. I'm glad I was chicken enough that I didn't do, and I didn't attempt anything to take my life. Because remember, I was not tired of living this life. Well, I was tired of living the way I was living, but I didn't want to leave this world. And I'm sure that if you're going through whatever you are going through, a problem, maybe you got divorced, maybe you lost your job, things are not going the way you want. It's not the end. You're tired of living that way. You're feeling like a failure, but that's just for a short moment. You can retake control of your life. There are many resources. There are many people willing to help and turn your life around and start enjoying life. As a coach, my goal is to help people to strengthen that self-love. First of all, believe in yourself. Believe that you can do it. Become an agent and not a victim. Having a victim mentality, why me? Why is this going on? And, you know, it's not going to do any good to you. Having an agent is like, what else I'm going to do now? Okay, if not me, then who? If not now, then when? If not this, then what? And answer those questions and find them real answers, real solutions, because these are real problems. I just want today, with this, to bring awareness that whatever you're going through, there is an answer. Probably if you are not going through these problems, you probably know someone that needs you in their life, that needs to hear or feel that you support them and become a deliverer of hope and become that ray of light for them, a real life hero for them. There are many things we can do. If you probably don't know what to do, but you know someone, the best thing to do is to call the suicide prevention hotline. If you don't know where to find it, I'm gonna put that here in this video, but if you don't have time to watch this or to go and look the number here, you can Google it. You can call the police, 911, or you can go to any hospital that has an ER. Because this is a real problem. This is health. They might not give you all the help you need, but they will position you or direct you where you need to go or where you need to take your friend, your family member. Let's not keep this as a secret. Let's not avoid the conversation. Let's raise awareness. Let's talk about this topic. Let's find answers together. Let's bring answers to those that are in need at this time. I wish that I could help more people. There is something that my coach, Dr. Paul Jenkins, created not too long. I mean, it's a short book. It's a mini book, Portable Positivity. But in this little book, in these pages, it has powerful things that I'm sure can save lives. I just translated this little book with the help of a team into Spanish as well, to increase the resources, to reach more people, to help more people. I hope that today with this video, you get to find something that will help you, that will help someone to improve their life, that will take your life eventually from that state where you are to have a firm base in your life and start building from there. Whenever you are there, it's a lot easier to start building in a secure, strong base. And you can get just as high as you can. And you know that the base that you are building upon is a safe place. You can base this with values. You can base this with the things that you know that matter the most to you. My friends, if you ever need me, I'm gonna put my phone number, my personal phone number here. Not just my business information, but my personal phone number, my email, or a way that you can contact me through WhatsApp or anywhere in the world that you are. And if you need my help, I will be here for you. My name is Elias Hernandez, and I hope that today we can change and save lives together.